remember getting that super uneasy feeling a few hours into me sleeping, and I wake up and I look around and I see the entity standing right where I first saw it many years ago. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here. If you are new, welcome. I hope you stayed because it is super fun here, at least I think so. If you are new to my channel, welcome to the 31-day Ghosts Glam series, where I basically tell you paranormal encounters, spooky ghost stories that I've experienced as we do our makeup. And so today is day 6, I don't know, it's day something, but today I'm going to tell you now the actual final story that happened in this house, my childhood home that I grew up in. My mom still lives there, kind of thing. And so this is the final story from that house. And if you haven't heard any of my other stories, go back, click on the playlist. I'll leave it I don't know what side it's on, but I'll leave it on there. And you can binge watch or binge listen to the rest of the series. So today I think I'm going to do an orangey look. I don't know, we'll see what comes up. But I'm really happy before we dive in, I'm really happy with the support that this series has gotten. I'm still trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of October. We're at 81, I think, or 80. So if you would like to support that, if you like this type of content, or you like, lifestyle kind of content, make sure to subscribe. And a lot of these episodes, a lot of these videos are going to be to bring awareness to physical differences, because I was born with a physical difference. So that is the whole purpose of this channel, and just to share things I love and share spooky stories and just have a little cool corner of the internet for us. So with that said, let's get into the story. So as you know, if you've been listening to the other episodes, the other videos, this house, we have now dealt with witch and shadow people. But this story, I'm going to take it back to a little bit when I was a little bit younger, just a tiny bit younger. I was still sleeping in my mom's room. The way her room was set up is when you walked in, you would see the bed directly straight on. To the right, what is the window to the outside, and then to the left is the bathroom door, the bathroom shower door. And so, not shower, the bathroom door. And so, if you're laying on the bed, the bathroom is to your right. And I always slept in my mom's room because, I don't know, I was scared to sleep in my own room. I really don't know. The house had interesting energy, even though it was built for us when we first moved in there, so no previous families had lived there before. And so I remember one time I was sleeping or laying in my mom's room, and something caught my attention in the restroom, in the bathroom. So I remember kind of looking over, and my mom was asleep. We were already in bed for the night. And I just remember looking into the bathroom, and we always slept with that light on because I was afraid of the dark, I guess. So we always had a light on, and it was always the bathroom door or the bathroom light. And we kept kind of the doors semi-open, semi-shut, just enough to get a little bit of light in the room. We were laying there and something caught my attention, so I remember I was staring into the bathroom. And, I ended up falling asleep and nothing happened, nothing weird happened. So I was like, whatever. I tried to forget about it. Not even a week later, laying down for bed, my mom's asleep, my sister's asleep, and something catches my attention in the bathroom again. So I was like, that's a little bit weird. So I just kind of like stare at it. When there's nothing there, but you can feel something there. That's what was happening. And so again, I tried to ignore it, and I remember I closed my eyes. But this time I heard the door creep open a little bit. So I opened my eyes really quick and I looked, and sure enough, the door was opened slightly, but there was nothing there. So I go back to sleep. Whatever, I tell my mom the next day, and she was like, oh, you were probably dreaming. And I was like, I don't think I was dreaming, but maybe. And so we kind of just like move on, whatever. But by this point, I'm like really creeped out by the bathroom. And at night, I'm like eyeing it, like I'm side-eyeing it. And nothing happens for a couple months. So it's like, you know what? Maybe I was dreaming it. Maybe my mom was right. And so I kind of forgot about it, whatever. Continue sleeping. And it gets to the point where I almost completely forget about it. Like, I don't see anything, I don't feel anything, I don't hear anything anymore. So I started to kind of forget about it. But we wouldn't be here and that was the end of it. So, months go by. I want to say like 3 months go by and nothing's happened. But this time we were getting ready for bed and I get like an uneasy feeling, but I kind of push it aside. We go to bed, we're sleeping, and I remember waking up and just feeling like something was watching me. And I don't know what time I woke up because I was a small child that didn't know time. And I don't like, there's not a time that calculates in my brain when I think about this moment. I just lay there, eyes open, trying to hear, trying to see anything. When all of a sudden, I hear the door creep slightly. So I'm like, I turn. And I believe it was like my sister. No, I believe it was myself, my sister in the middle, and then my mom next to the window. And so I hear the door creep slightly to the bathroom. And I turn and look. And this time I see this tall figure standing right in the doorway, completely dressed in black trench coat all the way to the floor. Figure was so tall, and he's wearing like a hat. Could not see a face, just knew that this figure was standing, staring down at me and my sister and my mom. I get freaked out. I close my eyes, and then I wake up the next morning. And I tell my mom about it, and she's like, oh, you were probably dreaming. You are okay. I was like, you know what? She probably is right. I was probably dreaming. Not a big deal at all. Not a big deal. We're okay. And so we move on as usual. And that is that, I don't see anything for a couple days. I don't hear creeps like the door creeping. I don't see this entity with the tall hat and trench coat. Nothing. A week later, I am ready for bed. I'm not feeling uneasy or anything. And at this point I had said like, oh, I was just dreaming. Not a big deal. Move on. And so I'm getting ready for bed. And I fall asleep. We're all asleep. And once again, I got woken up with the feeling that something is watching me. But this time, the door does not creep open, nothing. I turn and this entity is just standing there, looking down at the bed. And this time, instead of being in the restroom, like, he is right next to the bed. And there's an outline from the light that's coming in from the bathroom area. And so I freaked out. I remember waking my mom up and her being like, what's happening? Like, she cannot see it. At least she didn't tell me she could see it. So then we just go back to sleep, and I'm really, really, really freaked out at this point. Like, am I just having nightmares? And if so, like, I hate it. I hate having nightmares. It goes on. We move on. Whatever. He comes in every night it comes in every night for a week. And I just kind of watch it, like, and it's just like standing there watching down on us. And so as it's watching us and like looking down at us, it just stands there, super, super tall figure, long trench coat, and a hat. And I remember feeling like, and this is super morbid because like, but I remember having this deep knowing that it was death watching over us, and that was really, really creepy to me. And so this went on for years, of this entity just coming into the room, and just that was that. Then I would fall asleep and nothing would happen. So like I said, that went on for a couple of years until I started sleeping in my own room. And then we moved houses, which I'm so excited to get into the stories of that house because they're wild. Anyone that experienced them and anyone that's heard them, like, they're always so shocked. Then, so I moved into my own room and nothing happened. We moved houses, never saw that entity again until 2020, when I had to go back to my mom's house because my grandpa was not doing so well, and chances were that he was not going to make it. So I ended up going back home for a couple of weeks or months, I don't know. But I was there and I had not thought about this entity in a while. You know, it's like sometimes I would remember it and I would tell people, but it wasn't like at the forefront of my brain. I hadn't seen this entity in years. So I was at my mom's house, and this was the day after my grandpa had gone into surgery. He was recovering. My mom was getting ready to go see him. She gets a call that my grandpa had a heart attack while in recovery. So she's rushing over. They're trying to whatever. So I stay in her room. I was already sleeping in her room when I went back because I wanted to be with her, just in case anything was happening. And so she gets a call. She's, instead of like taking her time getting ready, she rushes, she leaves. And it was still really, really early in the morning. I want to say it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. So I went back to sleep. And I remember getting that super uneasy feeling a few hours into me sleeping. And I wake up and I look around and I see the entity standing right where I first saw it many years ago in my mom's bathroom, just looking down or looking towards me on the bed. And by this time, my mom had rearranged her room, so the bed was no longer right next to it. It was like against the window. And so I saw it standing there, just staring, when all of a sudden I hear my phone ring. I look away, answer it. It is my mom telling me my grandpa did not make it. And tell me why I look up. And as soon as I look up, this entity takes like a split second and then it's gone. That was the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. Well, not really, but one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me. Definitely the craziest thing that has happened to me in that house. And I haven't seen the entity after that. I did not see the entity when my dad died a couple months later. I have not seen the entity ever since then. Anytime I go back to my mom's house. So, like, I don't even know what to think about it. I don't know what explanation it has, except for that my initial gut feeling of what it was is accurate. I'm gonna finish my makeup and then we will close the story off, right? So that is all I have for you today. If you have any ideas as to what this thing was or why it's been, haunting me for years, and like just any answers to it, I would love to hear them, because that is my best guess, that it was like death kind of thing. But it could have also been a nightmare when I was younger, but then that doesn't explain why I saw it in 2020. So just a lot of questions around it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, because it really does help. And like I said, I have a goal of reaching 100 subscribers by the end of October. These are so fun to create. And yeah, if you like this series, let me know so I can know what kind of content to make after these 31 days. And yeah, I hope to see you here tomorrow for the next video. If you would like to connect, you can find me on Instagram at Ruby Skelton. I would love to hear any stories you have of paranormal encounters you've had. And yeah, I will catch you next time. I really don't know how to close off this video today, so I'll see you next time. Stay spooky.